Right. Let's go then. Let's do it. 86ers. Let's go. Where'd you guys watch the Thursday stream, the Genshin stream? What I'm going to say is I've been doing my dailies.
The following video contains heavy spoilers. 86 is a fantastic show that drops a variety of subtle hints throughout the story. There are numerous subplots that you, the viewer, might not catch if you did not pause frame by frame. In this video, we will be exploring some of the themes, symbolism, motifs, and world building you might have missed.
This is going to be really interesting, actually. This is going to be really, really interesting. Subtitles are cut off. Do you guys need them, though? Do you guys need them? Right, let me stop the recording as well, actually. Let me stop the recording. I don't need it anymore. Do you guys need the subtitles? I'm actually really curious about this. No, we should be fine, right?
In the first episode, we see a blackboard where Kujo wrote there are only 129 days left until end of service. As Reddit user Pedot has documented, it took exactly 129 days to depart for their final recon mission. Our spearhead squadron knew full ahead of time when they were going to depart for their final destination. Names and the importance of names is a recurring theme. Before Lena became the handler of Spearhead, she was first seen as a handler of a different squad. You can see most of the individuals without an alias. This is because most 86 members die within their first year of service, according to the novel author, Asato. Those who last more than a year are then recognized with a name of their choice. It goes to show how much more meaningful it is to have a group who are all on their 4th year of service.
You guys want them off? You guys want them off? Alright, I'll turn them off.
They are the cream
Take
of
care,
the
Pink
crop,
West.
the best of the best. In other words, they needed to be dealt with. Have you ever wondered why there was a slogan, "Welcome to the base closest to heaven"? On my first watch, it didn't register. Once it was revealed that the Spearhead Squad is the equivalent of the Suicide Squad, it all made sense. To make things worse, the mannequin's neck is another form of foreshadowing. On the topic of names, I can't come up with a more perfect name than 86. On the surface level, 86 simply referred to the people who live outside of District 85. However, if you check Wikipedia, 86 has another disturbing meaning. It generally means to get rid of someone or something. In 1970, it also meant to kill or execute. Let's talk about the name of our heroine, Vladilina Milize. I'm going to call her Lena.
But her name is Lena!
Is it though? Not according to Dr. Google.
Vladilina. Lena.
According to NameDoctor.com, her first name is the female.
Put the subs on. Alright, I'll put the subs back on. I'm going to put the subs back on. Everyone shut up, alright? They don't show up. It is what it is. I'm not going to change. I'm not going to fuck with the screen.
Equivalent of Vladimir, which means to rule or govern with greatness and peace.
What is this picture? What are they doing to Lena? What are they doing?
I couldn't find the meaning of Milize, so comment down below if you know what it means. In episode 2, the title and name of the squad is Spearhead, named after the tip of the spear, which means they're the vanguard and usually the first to engage into battle, and they're...
You can't drag them up. Right, hold on. But you can actually... I think you can actually... You can... YouTube actually has a lot of settings, actually. I think I can make them bigger. You can drag subtitles. You can drag subtitles! I mean, it's a good thing I'm not a YouTuber, Because this YouTube thing that you kids are using these days, I never heard of it. I just a streamer. I just a streamer, little old streamer me. Little a good. This YouTube website. Everyone's never heard of it. Never heard of it. Craxel, thank you very much for the 500 bits. Craxel, Craxel, everybody. Thank you very much, Craxel, for 500 bits. That's very kind of you. Right, should we just continue? This new website, YouTube, all the kids are talking about these days, man. I don't know. I think it's just a fad. Yeah.
Therefore the first to die. When maintaining a spear, the tip should get the most attention. Since the Spearhead Squad never gets any replacements, it means the Republic has no intention of maintaining their Spearhead. They are giving it a quick maintenance every now and then, but their plan is just to replace the Spearhead every time it gets damaged to the point it becomes inoperable. It is also possible to break the Spearhead if it's stuck inside an enemy. It's painful for the enemy to remove the Spearhead, while you can easily attach a new Spearhead to the shaft as a replacement. The final recon mission is just that. Give the kids enough ammo and fuel to do maximum damage, and then replace the Spearhead with a new one. A small but powerful detail was teased by Asato on Twitter. She was referring to the book Shin was reading at the time, All Quiet on the Western Front. Although I haven't read the novel, the synopsis of the story is about how soldiers' lives are thrown away by their commanding officers who are stationed comfortably away from the front, ignorant of the daily terrors on the front line. By witnessing the atrocities of war, these young soldiers lose their innocence and are regularly reminded of death. In addition, the massive loss of life and minimal gains from the fighting are constantly emphasized. Does this sound familiar? Young children forced to throw their lives away, while the Alba are throwing parties safely within their walls. As for Kaie's death flag, it was briefly foreshadowed when she was playing a card game with Haruto. She was left with the Joker card with a Grim Reaper on it. Episode 4 continues to reinforce the dire situation the 86
brilliantly
are put
done
in.
video.
They're
This
forced
is really
to defend
good.
the Republic while not even being acknowledged as human beings. When Lena goes to visit the war memorial, we see her walk past a bunch of empty memorial walls. In fact, the very last casualty the Alba suffered was none other than Lena's father, Vasclav Milize.
Oh,
Let's
shit.
talk about Lena's best friend, Annette. There's a reoccurring subplot about how all of her suitors are out of her age group. In episode 5, we see all of her suitors on full display. When asked about why she put them up, she mentions her coworkers did it as a joke. In the next episode, literally Santa Claus applies to be her husband. When Lena comments on the age of her suitors, Annette
Amazing.
has a painful expression but brushes it off. It's later revealed that Annette was bullied in school for being friends with an 86. Let's connect the dots. What if the bullying never stopped? What if the reason why no one in her age group wants to date her is because they remember she was friends with an 86? Only those who are young enough to not know her history and those who are old and desperate are thirsty for her. Annette is trapped in a society where she's all alone. Let's talk about world building. Food is a recurring theme in 86. It was mentioned multiple times how
I can turn the fucking the notifications back on. There we go. Actually, why haven't I watching
the
that?
Alba are eating artificial processed food. Lena
Yeah.
goes absolutely bonkers for some real ingredients. Do you recall the scarcity
forgot
of
about all the
food in
flipping tech
Attack on
stuff.
Titan? Land is limited within the walls of the Republic. As a result, processed food has become the norm due to lack of farmland and no imported goods. But did you notice how well the 86 were eating? It was as if a cook out of Shogugeki no Soma was doing a cook-off and the 86 were being served. Okay, I'm exaggerating a bit, but the details are definitely there. I mean, who puts this much effort into making food look this good in a non-cooking show? You see, the 86 were both hunting and gathering for their own food out in the open. The Alba would never serve meat, a luxury to those who they deemed as inferior. Their food is so bad, it got rejected by our robot dog. You know that real fruit that Lena is craving? Our lads have those on a regular basis. It's a small W, however small that may be.
I didn't think
A1's
about that.
adaptation has a strong sense of cinematography, and episode 7 packs a ton of it. Shine Nozen, The Undertaker, the Shinigami. Here we see another scene where our protagonist with the burden of shooting one of his fallen comrades. The picture here is brief, but if you pause the frame, you can see a very powerful allegory. Do you see it? How about
Wait.
now?
Yeah.
Shin is a representation of the Angel of Death. His mission is not only sending off the souls of his fallen comrades, but also the ones trapped inside the Legion. I really like this scene, and this frame, beautifully shot from a low-angle point of view, demonstrates metaphorically how powerful Raiden is as he delivers his speech. Although it appears that he is imprisoned by this cruel, unjust world, represented by these concrete walls, he has chosen to step out of it. In other words, Raiden and the others have chosen their own path to be free. All of them filled with determination. As the speech ends, the pale moonlight slowly reappears. In an unexpected shower,
So much attention to detail has gone in the creation of 86. It is mind-blowing. So much of this stuff you just miss. This is the level of detail that has gone into this. Jesus Christ. This is such a love project of creation. Amazing.
scene, some traumatic revelations about Anju are revealed.
Crazy,
Many
right?
have speculated about why she has silver hair, but still lives in District 86. If you looked very carefully, you can make out the following letters on her back. Or's Ah?
You may be distracted in that scene. I definitely wasn't, but some people were. The current images are the novel covers, by the way. Ah.
Chor's laughter? Whore's the... Oh, come on! It's heart-wrenching to learn Anju was subjected to such abuse because she was a half-blood. She was rejected by both sides.
Yeah,
You
you
can
guys.
see the
I remember you
extent
guys
of her
telling me
efforts
this.
to hide her secret back in episode 3. She was the only one to keep her jacket on. In episode 8, we are showcased the brilliant use of color to set the mood for each scene. There has been a recurring theme with dark and blue hues associated with the 86. The scenes at night stand for hopelessness and elicits a negative emotion. In contrast, the Republic is usually bathed in light, which represents hope and elicits a positive emotion. In the first half of the season, Lena was upbeat and cheerful, represented by her brightly lit room. As the story progresses, the room becomes darker, which is also a metaphor for her once cheerful optimism slowly burning out. As her mental state shifts, the light escapes the room. In fact, the only source of light is placed where she's communicating with the 86. We start off with Rain, a sense of despair carried over from Lena's scene, but there is a tone shift back at the barracks. It's uplifting, and the change in setting reflects it. The rain eventually stops, a sign of good omen. As the team sets off for their final destination, you feel a strong sense of hope and determination as Hands Up in the Sky plays in the background. Episode 9 is action-packed, so there's not a lot to say about this symbolism. At the end of the episode, we have a scene with a field of red spider lilies. It is the name of the withering flower in the opening sequence. Often found near graves, it is regularly used in funerals in Japan. The red spider lily contains poison in its bulbs, flowers, and leaves. If you eat it, you may get diarrhea, vomiting, or in the worst case scenario, it can be fatal. For those reasons,
Jesus
the red spider
Christ.
lily is often associated with death, reincarnation, and final goodbyes. The scarlet flower is a perfect send-off for this episode as Shin says farewell to both his brother and Lena. ZX Kadaru wrote an impressive essay on the concept of paradise and how the first half of episode 10 drew parallelism to the Garden of Eden. You can find the link in the description below. Now, onto the heaviest part. Like many of you, this episode hit different. My life flashed before my eyes is a common expression used to describe the widely reported phenomenon when a person recalls a rapid, detailed flashback of their life in chronological order. Scientists believe that you have 7 minutes of brain activity left after you die, which is also the length of Fido's flashback. But what is Fido? We learned that Fido met Shin 4 years ago and basically watched him grow up. There were bits and pieces in the story that showed us Fido was not simply a machine.
Am I about to have Spido spoiled? Or am I alright? Have you guys seen this before? We about to have Spido foiled? Spido foiled? Come on. How did motherfuckers? No, only anime content. Fine. Okay, cool.
Fido understood.
You guys, I literally asked Spider-Man. I ask you guys, am I about to have it spoiled? And none of you reply. Second, I slip up language though. All of you are like, "Whoa, it's fucking Spider, you sons of bitches."
How each individual felt. He celebrated with his robotic arms in joy. He trembled in fear when Shin was being scolded. He understood that the food was terrible. He found a boiler so his friends can bathe. It's not far-fetched to say Fido showed more emotions than The Undertaker. In a way, he shared responsibility with Shin in carrying everyone's memories. Fido provided both combat and emotional support. This is why it hit so hard when Fido went down. In the final key moments, we can see on the top left, Fido's power supply was running critically low. In this scene, Shin takes a piece of Fido like he does with the other fallen juggernauts and thanks him for all they've been through. Shin knew they were going to have to leave him behind because they had no way of recharging him. So once again, what is Fido? In the second to last memory, we see a glimpse of Shin, Rei, and Annette in a picture dated 10 years ago. We were given multiple clues back in episode 8 that the Nozen family owned a pet dog. Let that sink in. Could Fido be Shin's pet dog from years ago? This entire segment is anime original content, and I commend the adaptation for bringing so much depth and characterization into a side character we hardly knew. Throughout the season, there has been a number of stylistic imagery of separation between head and body. You have to admire what they did with the subtle cuts. The headless motif is a frightening element of the plot. What are they trying to say? Is it foreshadowing for what's to come? The finale of season 1 is full of mystery and I have no idea what to make of it. We are shown some strange flashbacks and yelling from some unknown simp, vowing to protect the princess. I'll take a guess that the Legion is
Why has he got a gun? Come on. Come on. Some unknown simp. This dude, man. This dude. For fuck's sake. Firing fucking just some random ass simp, man.
now led by this guy, who appears to be a remnant of the invading empire. But no spoilers, please. In the post-credit scene, we have finally come full circle with the headless imagery. But there is one glimmer of hope, and you can find it on the 86 website. You see, all season long, the official website has been updating who has been destroyed after each episode. The confusing part is that in episode 10, Shorei was still marked as alive, but in episode 11, he is now destroyed. The rest of the cast remains alive? Even though they were shown to be knocked unconscious, we didn't get any confirmation of their demise. In case you didn't notice, there are several parts of the opening sequence that changes throughout the series.
This anime is so brutal, man. So brutal. Jesus, episode 7. I fucking love this anime. God damn.
If you made it this far, I want to thank you for watching this video.
My friend, you can have a subscribe. Yeah, how do you only have 3.5 million? You get another one. There you go. Big time. Well deserved. Damn. Well put together video. Let's give him a comment as well. Why not? Just finished watching 86 and now I am watching your videos. Thank you so much for making them. You're awesome. There we go. Why not? There you go. Why not? Craxel, thank you very much for the 500 bits, my friend. You have to watch Transitions into 86 are incredible by the same guy. Okay. Well, he's got to subscribe. Thank you, Craxel, for another 500 bits. You wonderfully generous human being. You right. This is part 2. Yeah, up here.
Warning.
Okay, give another like on the video. Part 2. engagement pleases the algorithm. Because I've got a verified account as well, if I like comment and stuff, I think it helps out a little bit. So hopefully, but yeah, yeah, we're gonna do. Don't worry, we're gonna do. Do you guys want a link to his channel? Yeah, let me share the video. There you go. This is part 2. If anyone wants to go give him a comment on AimZero, there you go. Spam it in chat. Go give him a comment and a subscribe and a like and stuff like that. There you go. Yeah, we're gonna do part 2. Don't worry. After we finish part 2, we'll get the OST vote running as well. Don't worry. Did I like this video? Yeah, I did. Cool. Let's go. Right, part 2. These videos are brilliant. These videos are absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Warning,
Super,
this
super
video
impressed.
contains
Super
anime-only spoilers. It's
Why
not
don't we say
often you
part
come
3?
across an anime
Did I say
that
part 3?
oozes passion.
Are you guys shitting on my mispronunciation again? Motherfuckers, I will end the stream. I will end the stream. Part 3 during OST vote. So we're going to finish part 2, and then we'll do the OST vote and start part 3. Look, there's a part 3 right up here. Part 3. Fuck out of here, you sons of bitches. There is a part 3. There is a part 3. Right there, part 3. Part 3. You fucking...
Passion. Watching 86 Part 2 felt like a cinematic
calling me out on my
experience I
mistakes.
haven't felt since Kimi no Nawa. The director uses a show, don't tell formula that requires some strong attention to detail in order to fully appreciate. If you haven't already, check out my first video of my 3-part video series on 86 before watching this one.
Don't worry, bro. We did.
We
watched it.
begin the second half of 86 with the debut of Lena's new look. She chooses to don a black uniform and added a streak of red hair.
Red streak.
By adding these 2 colors to her appearance, all 5 colors of the San Magnolia flag are now represented with her new look. This is her way of trying to uphold all of the values of the Republic, despite the corruption and incompetence all around her. In the next scene, she walks straight into a sword in a symbolic way that is
I'm just saying, by the way, the fact that you can move these fucking subtitles is just insane. Look at this shit, man. I can't believe I'm just learning about this now. Fucking insane. I gotta tell some people. I gotta call my dad. Jesus.
suggesting she is stabbing herself. Lena, in a way, is committing
Right.
career suicide by sticking her neck out for the 86. Formerly known as a major, she has now been demoted to captain. The officer who is berating her is a lieutenant colonel who is 2 ranks above her. With her demotion, she is no longer reporting to
This
General
guy.
Jerome
This
Carl
guy.
Stahl. Captain Melise is no longer commanding the Spearhead Squadron as a punishment for her unauthorized use of artillery from episode 11. You can see Lena is still hopeful the ex-Spearhead members are still alive because she still has them pinned to her corkboard.
Ah.
The box on her windowsill is where she places the deceased to remember and to honor them. When the camera pans to the 5 protagonists, Shin's portrait looks like it's been through some rough times. This is a callback to episode 9, when Lena took Shin
Would you
for
like
a
to know
spin
more?
during her confrontation with Annette.
Ah. Hello, Dento.
Episode
senpai.
13 brings us back to civilian life in the Confederacy. The Spearhead 5 spend their free time doing normal activities, trying their best to assimilate into society. They attempt
I'm confused though. Didn't she take all the... She took all the things off the board and put them in a box, other than the 5 OGs. But like some of her team, some of the people were still there, weren't they? Like the girl, she was still there.
to try new
She
things,
wasn't dead.
make new friends. But no matter how hard they try, you get the sense they just don't belong. The feeling of isolation they all share leads to their mutual desire to return to the battlefield. The ending sequence highlights some of the important scenes in each.
No, I mean at the end of the anime, she goes back to her house, takes them all off the board, and then puts all those heads in the box, but keeps the 5 heads, right? The new team was on the board as well. Yeah, I know, but she put them all in the box. So what I'm trying to say is, the new team was on the board. She took all the new team off the board, put them in the box that I think symbolizes they're dead, but kept the 5 OGs up there, and then she carried them around with her. She left more than the 5 on the board. She didn't put them all. Okay, so I just missed some people. All right. 5 OGs and 3 others. Oh, okay. I for some reason I thought it was all of them.
each episode. You have arrived at the first segment of Anju's Pain Corner, where we get glimpses of Anju's suffering. In this episode, the most glaring scene was when Theo asks Anju about her future. Notice there is a couple walking in the background that closely resembles Anju and Daya. This is a painful reminder that shows us Anju is still coping with her loss.
Jesus, like a ghost. I didn't even
Back at the
fucking-
library,
Damn.
there was a particular book that caught our Stoic Reaper's attention. You might have seen this book before. It was a book he was all too familiar with.
Oh, damn.
Vital returns. It was a heartwarming episode, but we are quickly brought back to reality. Because this is 86. In one instance, we have a warm and cheerful
True.
scene. The boys are having a nice wholesome meal. Heck, they even took a picture together.
Yeah,
Everything is good.
just all the boys. Happy times.
Wait, what?
Nah, 86.
Did they just...
Yep.
The transition here is ineffable.
Fucking
First
86,
they showed
man.
Eugene holding onto his locket, and then immediately the next frame you see a bloody arm still gripping onto the same locket. It was an incredibly well executed scene that foreshadowed his death right before the final revelation.
Fucking 86, man.
Episode 15 had an abundance of crow scenes, and a crow was also featured in the ending sequence. The kanji karasu means both raven and crow in Japanese, while the Chinese equivalent is wu ya. In both Japanese and Chinese, the word for raven and crow is interchangeable. In case you didn't know, crows are a carrion bird, which means their diet consists of feasting on the flesh of deceased animals. With their pitch black feathers, their ominous croaking voice, and their reputation as scavengers of the dead, crows are often associated with loss and bad omen. While in Western culture, they sometimes have a positive connotation in the form of insight and prophecy, Eastern cultures strongly associate these birds with negative symbolism. The arrival of a large flock of crows signifies they are anticipating death to occur, eagerly waiting for their next meal. If one should appear at your doorstep, it means that someone you know has passed away. Knowing all of the superstitious meanings behind a karasu made me particularly anxious for what's to come. We know the director doesn't let small details go to waste. The sense of foreboding is extremely well done because
If you're someone who picks up on all these details like really well, like you're just some fucking amazing analyst, like this guy is. He said when he started picking up on all the crows, he was worried about what's to come. It must make watching anime like really interesting, or TV shows really interesting. If you're able to pick up on all this sort of stuff really well, like really quickly, that's damn impressive. Remember the Oshinoko opening? Well, Idol. Did you? I saw that fucking Miko and Suisei did a song of that. I'm gonna do a double Hololive reaction for next Tuesday because I want to get that one as well.
right before the scene where Shin and Raiden have their talk, two crows are seen perched outside. After their conversation, only one remains.
Oh, I had a flock of crows called a murder.
During Kirya's backstory, we were given a sneak peek of his
Ah, that's why you're saying it. There were crows in the opening of Oshinoko. Ah, very smartly done.
eventual alias. On the window, there is a morpho butterfly tangled in a spiderweb. We later come
But I'm confused. The Raiden conversation and stuff, where it says there was only one. Raiden didn't. None of them died though. Weird.
to the window, there is a morpho butterfly tangled in a spiderweb. We later come to know the Legion weapon has been designated as the Morpho.
To catch a morpho, you need a spider.
Episode 12 and 15 dropped various hints that the Republic was outgunned. While Lena's squadron reduced in numbers, Legion-controlled territory was ever expanding.
Ooh.
Surrounded on all fronts, the imminent full-scale invasion finally happened on August 25th. No-Face has no chill. He chose no better day for such antics, to attack on the very day the Albas celebrated their annual revolution. The conversation between Lena and General Costal deserves a mention. Jerome wanted to know if Lena is truly prepared for what's going to happen, questioning her resolve. The tension here is palpable. He strongly believes the 86 will turn on the
Spider.
Albas as soon as they open the floodgates, because when the oppressed get the opportunity to lash out at their oppressors, bad things tend to happen. In other words, my man has probably watched enough hentai. What I meant to say was, he's obviously studied enough history to know where this is going. The ever-idealistic Lena shows unwavering conviction in face of the general's dire warnings. Jerome was always the man to uphold the status quo. He followed the will of the nation and was complicit with all of the wrongdoings in the Republic.
Would you like
He
to know
didn't
more?
want Lena to chase.
The thing is, they had a choice. They literally had a choice. Redo of a healer? What is redo of a healer? Unexpected redo cameo? Redo of a healer gets mentioned a lot. They have a choice, right? Imagine like the Battle of Troy or something like that. But let's just say you got building, you got an army, right? These motherfuckers are evil. They're like, oh, come in our gates. You just assume the army's going to come in and just kill them, right? But if the option is come in our gates, fight with us against this bigger army, you're left with two options. Don't ask. I won't ask. You know what I mean? They were left with a choice. Either die or try and not die.
Empty ideals because those same ideals took the life of Vasclav Milize. But knowing things are finally coming to an end, he takes up his combat-worn gear and decides to pave the way for Lena to chase her idealistic dreams. By the looks of his worn gear, Jerome wasn't a top general for no reason. He was a seasoned veteran that experienced life on the battlefield.
His gear isn't something you pick up on again. Well, I didn't.
On that day, humanity received a grim reminder, for they live in fear of the Legion and were disgraced to live in these walls they called District 1. This episode contains a ton of parallelism. The juxtaposition between episode 1 and 17 has some unsettling visualization.
So
The once
good.
glorious and peaceful Republic, basked in morning light, is now bathed in a sea of flames under the pale moonlight.
So good.
I previously talked about the importance of names back in my first video. Once again, they are named the Spearhead Squadron. The analogy here is perfect, and to no one's surprise, they are yet again on another suicide mission. The 86 are the perfect people for the mission, for they are the most likely to succeed in destroying the Morpho while having no family members that will mourn for their deaths. The scene with the 86 talking in lieu of Shin's consciousness was brilliant, but it tops off with a shot of Shin from outside the window. The Undertaker can hear the Legion inside the walls of San Magnolia, and he believes the major he confided in has passed away. Always carrying a stoic demeanor, Shin doesn't know how to cry, so in order for the director to show us how he's truly feeling, the rain droplet on the window sheds a tear for him.
Very well done.
There aren't many details in episode 18, but it's worth mentioning that Nahazeva is based off of a real-life counterpart called the Caspian Sea Monster.
We know this!
The practicality of using a hovercraft on land is limited, but it was effective for evading detection over sea. I really love how Asato uses non-fictional military weapons as an inspiration for the world building. The Morpho is based off of a historical...
I was actually, when the Morpho... he's going to say it anyway. But yeah, they also have this in Sherlock Holmes, and I think they have this in another movie as well. But this is a fucking, train artillery thing, right?
weapon called the German Schwere Gustav cannon, which was used in World War II. We first saw the Legion Shepherds designating Shin's Regenleaf with a special call sign in episode 19. They called him Baal Jaeger. The word derives from Old Norse, and it's another name for Odin. Odin was a god of war and death, who gained his powers on the verge of death. Sound familiar? The word Baal Jaeger has a literal meaning, the one with flaming eyes, which is quite fitting due to how the Undertaker pilots his juggernaut. The reason why the Legion Upper Echelon designated Shin with a special name was because he was perceived as an immense threat to the Legion. In episode 20, the show continues to flex on us by using a brilliant visual metaphor that gives us insight to how Raiden and Shin are feeling. The camera's sudden focus onto the railway emphasizes the directions both characters are heading towards. Despite sharing the same path, Raiden's path is clear and without hindrances. Meanwhile, Shin's path is blocked. There is nothing physically preventing Shin from moving forward, but he has a mental hurdle that he simply cannot get over.
When this happened, I presumed that the whole reason it zoomed in on the train was because they were about to get attacked and we were going to see the trains like shake, the train tracks shake or something. The symbolism is fucking incredible in this show.
Reaper
man.
can't see a bright future ahead,
Damn.
and therefore is convinced this will be a one-way trip. A time-lapse of a blue butterfly takes place throughout episode 20. The symbolism here can be taken quite literally. The 86 are ants, slowly dismembering the remaining fragments of a deceased morpho butterfly. Another interpretation of the scene I really enjoyed came from Twitter user Maria, who often tweets about 86.
Wait.
Often tweet.
Morpho is a butterfly, is an ant in German. Morpho is Curious Legion unit. Immense is a scout type of Legion unit. Okay.
It's about 86. And we're back for another segment of Anju's Pain Corner. While everyone shares their desires to see the ocean after the war, Anju talks about wanting to see the glaciers up north. I wonder where I heard that one before. Oh. Every so often, the show likes to... I wonder where I heard
the
that one
Aurora,
before.
the North Pole. Ah.
Oh. Every so often, the show likes to rub salt in the wound and remind us that Daya's passing still hits right in the feels. Why do they do this? Just to make us suffer?
Yeah, why? Why do they do this? 86, chill, bro. Stop breaking our hearts over and over again.
The Low, Löwe in German, is a tank-type legion introduced in episode 2. Tanks are generally categorized as slow but powerful armored vehicles with low maneuverability. Löwes were no different. They're often seen supported by the more mobile Amaise. In the first half of 86,
Fucking
we learned
Starship
Löwes
Troopers.
had a glaring weakness because they can't shoot up. In episode 21, they've overcome that weakness. The evolution of Legion tactics makes the Legion much more formidable. Who could have thought we would have seen character development for the autonomous Legion foot soldiers?
I did wonder about this, actually.
The following observations were written before episode 22 came out. In a pivotal moment during the confrontation between Shin and Kyria, an unknown source of artillery fire comes to aid the Undertaker. In a direct callback to episode 9, the same type of mortar bombardment is used in episode 21 during the fight against the Morpho. With these striking similarities, there's no doubt in my mind that the supporting artillery fire came from the Republic of San Magnolia. Two important details helped me reach this conclusion. First, they were in Republic territory. Visually speaking, the capital of San Magnolia has a striking resemblance to Paris, France. In the previous episode, we've been shown multiple scenes of destroyed statues and French signposts that signaled that we were back in the Republic. The second key detail is the color of the para-raid device. We were told the new raid devices were reverse engineered by the Federacy. When the raid devices are operational, its color is yellow. When the device is on mute, it is red. In the heated moment before the bombardment, you can see Shin's raid device flicker between yellow and green several times. A muffled but audible command is given by an unknown voice, instructing Shin to retreat, and he complies. We were last shown Lena's raid device upgraded to allow her to synchronize with all of the units within the 86 districts. If we put 2 and 2 together, we can reasonably conclude that the voice came from none other than Vladilena Melize.
If only
In
we
case
were
you
able to
didn't
find
know,
out.
it was announced on December 23rd, 2021. The final 2 episodes are delayed until the following year. The season finale will be airing on March 19th, 2022. There are exactly 86 days from the date of announcement to the date of the planned finale. I don't know if this was a
Ridiculous.
coincidence, but I feel this was too perfect to be not done deliberately. The main reason why the show was delayed was because of scheduling conflicts. 86 simply ran out of time slots, and Japanese television schedules are planned meticulously ahead of time, and therefore could not squeeze in the final 2 episodes, caused by multiple production delays. Hello, if you're still here, you're one of the 10% of people who actually watch a video all the way through. So thank
Hell yeah. Always watch a video to the end. Always, always, always. Damn! Damn! Damn, damn, damn. We got one more part to watch.
Warning.
We got one more part to watch.
Warning, this video contains anime-only spoilers. Before watching this video, check out the
PP.
first 2 parts I
PP.
covered in this 3-part video series of 86. The first season of 86 is told in 3 distinct parts. Part 1 was the setup. It established the world building, character motivations, and created emotional investment for the audience. Part 2 created tension and drama and set up the stage for the inevitable meeting between Shin and Lena. And the
Did I get another fucking donation I missed? No, I didn't. Okay, cool. For a second I was worried. I just got another notification through, but I think it was a late notification.
last 2 episodes are what I call Part 3. It delivered one of the most satisfying and touching climax and conclusion to any anime I've witnessed in recent memory. Episode 23 contains a ton of parallelism. The contrast between the
All right, 86 has one, and I'm pretty confident all of you want Lila, so I'll write that down. All right, 86 OST Lilas. There you go. Done. Pretty sure you all want that. 2 Worlds Apart, I've seen a couple of recommended, but Lilas is fucking winning by a landslide, it seems. Right, let's go. Right, there's one. I've written it down. Anonymous gave $5. That was a while ago. I've already read that one out. Anonymous gave $5 a while ago, and that was an hour ago, and they recommended this video. Right? I haven't got any other notifications since then, unless someone gave some recently. No, it was a while ago. I caught that one. Don't worry, I caught that one. But thank you, Skid. Thank you. But I did catch that one. Don't worry.
The first and final episode flips the narrative
Persona
on
3.
Shin and Lena. Shin began the season in a cold, dark setting. Meanwhile, Lena lived in a world of luxury and privilege. In the final episode, their roles are reversed. Shin is living in comfort, surrounded by the warmth of his family, while Lena revisits
I didn't
her tattered
even
and
think
empty
about
room.
this.
The colors set the tone perfectly. Red and warm for Shin, while blue and ice cold for Lena.
I didn't even
The constant
think about
contrast
this.
between both sides continues as both characters visit the graveyard. Shin's encounter with Nina was an interesting one. When the two first met, Nina was shy and wasn't able to express
Burn my dread
gratitude
Persona
despite
3.
her
Alright.
brother's best efforts to teach her. In episode 23, Nina has finally overcome her shyness and expresses her appreciation by thanking Shin for leaving a memento of her brother. Another cool detail I missed was in the picture itself. Federica's fingers were covering the lenses while taking the picture, and it shows up in the photograph.
Ah.
Back in the Republic, we see the devastation caused by the Legion invasion. Only 3 of Lena's squad members remain.
There we
The
go.
former Republic is now under the G.O.T. control, and the war crimes committed against the 86 are exposed to the public. Does anyone remember these 3 despicable clowns? Yup, that's right. The fates of the 3 drunken officers are also revealed in the final episode. Their discontent with equality is the ultimate form of irony, for they were the oppressors who upheld the abuse of the 86, and now they're the same people
Would you like to know
complaining
more?
about not being treated fairly. There is a rift in the sentiment within the Alban population. Some of its citizens are disgruntled with the new order established, while the others are hopeful it will bring a brighter future. The original slogan is altered from Welcome to the Republic of San Magnolia to The Republic of San Magnolia will come true, which means its citizens are optimistic that someday their nation will become a true republic, not just for people with silver hair, but for everyone. Back in the office, we reveal that Lena has been promoted 4 ranks, jumping from captain to colonel due to her critical role in defending the Republic. Another stark contrast can be found in the colonel's room. The last time we saw his office, it was fully decorated with nationalistic pride, but now none of it can be found. The snake is clearly trying to disassociate himself with the previous regime. His
this guy.
shameless efforts to fake his new persona knows no bounds. The pictures on his desk are clearly staged, as you can see how little enthusiasm is displayed by the 86, who were probably forced to take a picture with him.
Nah, they're
In
his
the
friends.
next picture, the wife closed her eyes to try to conceal her Alba identity, but it was all for nothing because the kid gave it away by opening his eyes anyway. Colonel Lena receives a report of her new squad with a bunch of names redacted. In her mind, it's probably a little bit sus, but they were just trying to surprise her later on. Let's take a closer look to what room she is in, and I think we can come to another conclusion. I remember seeing this pointy chair back when Lena was reporting to Jerome back in part 1. When the camera pans back to the same empty chair, I think this implies that Jerome Costal is either missing or killed in action. During Lena's visit to the war memorial, when she looks up the names on the wall, she is unable to locate the names of the 5 missing Spearhead members. Devastated, she whispers, "I won't forget," exactly 5 times. One iteration for each of the Spearhead 5, for they hold a special place in her heavy heart. Just like Shin before her, she leaves the box of the fallen 86 at the memorial. She has fulfilled the promise delegated by the Undertaker, to remember and to honor them when they're gone. Shin and Lena's paths slowly converge as the episode draws to an end.
So good, man.
There was another form of symbolism with the imagery of white birds during Shin's visit to the memorial. As Shin's monologue occurs, one lonesome bird flies out of the dark abyss and rejoins the other birds in flight. This is symbolic of Shin conquering his inner demons and is ready to rejoin his friends in their journey called life. Back in episode 9, when the Spearhead 5 made their march out of Republic territory, 5 birds took flight. With Lena joining their group, there are now a total of 6 birds in the sky. But before we go into the last segment, let's take a look at these final moments from Lena's perspective. The symbolism here is off the charts. Notice how the Alba are facing towards the audience while the 86 are facing forward, symbolizing cowardice from the Alba and their avoidance of the war, while the 86 are headstrong and moving forward. And finally, the Spearhead 5 are at the forefront of it all, for obvious reasons. These last few seconds move by quickly, but they deliver a strong message. In my previous video, I talked about how there were exactly 86 days between the date of announcement to the date of the season finale. As suspicious as it sounds, it's actually canon. The Spearhead 5 made it home on December 24th, just in time for Christmas Eve. They later reunite with their commanding officer on March 20th the following year. 86 days later. Coincidence?
Jesus Christ, man.
Fido's montage sequence was one of my favorite moments in part 1. I'm really glad they brought it back for the finale. Fido's upgrades were briefly mentioned in episode 14, but in episode 23, we can see his hardware has been upgraded from grainy standard definition to HD 1080p. The storytelling here is unique because the characters are using Fido as an outlet to interact with the audience directly. I want to mention Fido's point of view is in a classic 4:3 aspect ratio. Director Ishii's clever use of this framing creates a feeling of nostalgia, as well as putting more emphasis on the characters, and thus we feel much more connected to our beloved protagonists. Each character gets their own unique moment to shine. Raiden has a callback to when he first saw Lena's appearance back in episode 9. When Lena shared visuals with him through the raid device, he caught a glimpse of her reflection through her monitor. Anju is hopeful the black kitten is the same one they left at their old barracks. In their farewell letter, Anju and Karina both asked Lena to take care of the kitten after they're gone. In another memory, we find out that Dio was the first one to find the kitten. It should be obvious why she is so attached to the black cat. Oh no. It's Anju's pain corner again, isn't it?
Fucking
Theo
Andrew's
shows
pain
off some
corner.
impressive shipping fan arts. His sketches are now in color, thanks to the colored pencils given to him as a gift by Ernst. In Fido's first
so many
montage,
things,
there
man.
was a moment in time that Theo thought he was a goner. It was Theo's symbolic moment of giving up on life and his hobby by tossing his sketchbook into the flames. Contrast that dark moment with the present. Theo is now full of hope and is genuinely smiling for the very first time.
That's true.
Kurina is still in denial, but we'll talk about her later. On a side note, the direction from right to left has significant meaning and has reoccurred throughout the season. In Japanese literature, you read from right to left, a natural sign of progression and the very definition of moving forward. Throughout the show, we see many instances of movement from right to left. The theme of moving forward comes full circle in the next scene. As Lena makes her way towards Shin, we get a half-second of their encounter from the previous episode. From Fido's point of view, we can see a beautiful transition of Lena walking in the same direction towards Shin, from right to left. This is made possible because in Fido's memory, he was upside down in the previous episode. This is why I'm such a big fan of the director
Jesus
and his
Christ.
excellent use
Yeah,
of
the
attention
director
to
is
detail.
amazing,
As
man.
Fido witnesses Shin and Lena's
Amazing.
meeting, a piece of metal flashes, symbolic of the tears that will be brought to the audiences around the globe, because in this moment, we are all Fido. As the rest of the squad struggles to keep their composure, Theo stands out from the rest. He remains poised, having the utmost respect for Lena. A complete 180 from part 1. Theo began as Lena's biggest critic, but now he's become her second biggest fan. The reunion is done beautifully, but when you do a side-by-side comparison with episode 11, it becomes even more impactful. As Raiden calls her Baka, she immediately remembers him because he was the one to call her dumb throughout the show. Next up, we can see how much Theo simps for Lena because she also likes to draw. Theo manages to pick up the portraits, and we can see how much admiration he has for Lena. Since Kitty is the only remaining memento left of Daya, Andrew is really grateful to Lena for caring for it in their absence. And lastly, Kurina does Kurina things, I guess.
Amazing.
The railway that seemingly went on
Amazing.
forever throughout the season is
Amazing
symbolic of
anime,
Lena's
man.
long journey
Amazing.
on the path created by Shin and the others. Lena's been chasing after the Spearhead 5 for a very long time. As the rails finally reach the end, the six are reunited at long last.
The rails are
Together,
broken.
they will now march in unison towards a brighter future. As the episode comes to a close, their hands converge to create two shadows that look like the number 86, as the title drops. And there we have it. In a last-ditch effort to keep herself in the race, Kurina steps between Shin and Lena. Oh Kurina, your ship never even left the harbor. But do not worry, Kurina fans. I'm sure she's still widely popular with the guys, due to her pair of shiny new boots.
I agree.
What did you think I was going to say?
I agree. I like the boots.
Hiroyuki Sawano is renowned for his work as a music composer. His song names are often cryptic and full of mystery. When we take a look at disc 1 of the original 86 soundtrack, each song name has its own meaning. Some of these are obvious, 86 being 86. Re G10N is Legion.
Okay.
Others require some Japanese knowledge to decipher. For example, Jagger N010 is Jaggernaut in Japanese. That's because another way to say 10 in Japanese is To. 4N is the perfect song name for Shin. The number 4 in Japanese can be pronounced either Shi or Yon. 4N is just that, a combination of Shi and N becomes Shin. Another song-related detail can be found on the album covers of Avid and Lila's. The first album cover from Avid and Hands Up to the Sky featured two boots walking down a similar path, but they are clearly in separate worlds. Part 1 of 86 featured Lena and Shin sharing the same goals and motivations, but they lived in two separate worlds, which is exactly what this album cover is depicting. In comparison, Lila's features two boots walking in unison underneath some lilac trees. Shin and Lena are finally reunited, and as the lyrics say, they now
Sawano
walk
is
under
the
the same
fucking
sky. Let's dive deeper. Reddit user Almond Mint shares some mind-blowing fan theories to the cryptic meaning behind Lila's. The acronym for Lila's stands for Lena is looking at Shin. The song is not about the first time they meet, but rather the first time they set eyes on each other. When you combine and mix both of their eye colors, you get the color of the lilac. And finally, Reddit
Jesus
user
Christ.
CyberLegend132 shared insights to just how well timed the song lyrics are to the final sequence. Without knowing the lyrical context, the Western audience would never be able to fully appreciate the impeccable timing of these lyrics. I can't wait for next season. I have so many questions. We last saw Lena and Annette finally reconcile their friendship. I wonder what will happen when Annette finally reunites with Shin. Will Anju finally get more screen time as second best girl? Will she ever find happiness? Or will they keep on making her suffer? Whatever happened to Uncle Jerome, who's not really her uncle since they have different last names? Hello, thank you for watching this video all the way through.
My guy, man. My guy. Damn. Awesome video. I am now waiting for season 2 with the rest of you. Maybe one day. There we go. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. God damn. The best mid-anime period. Exactly. He's not actually our uncle. I agree. With that. That was definitely the best. The best mid anime I've seen. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. What's it? Sponsored cyber attack on Britain and Russia. Linked hackers. Okay. Yeah. Definitely mid. In my opinion. Motherfucker. That 86 is just incredible. Incredible. Absolutely fucking incredible. Who knows? Maybe we can get season 2. I will end the stream with this link to the Twitter post one last time, or the X post. If you guys want to go over there, give it a like, give it a retweet. Who knows? Maybe we can get some sort of ball rolling a little bit. Maybe we can just wake them up a tiny little bit. Who knows? Maybe there is someone right now in a studio that is just like on like at A1 studio or whatever, and they just see the tweet and they're like, 86. Yo guys, when we doing 86? What do you mean you forgot about it? Bring that over here. Who knows?
Might as well watch the 86 transition vid from him also. It's only 3 minutes 40 seconds.
86 transition vid. Thank you for the $5, K. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much for the $5. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do the 86 transition vid just because it's late. I'm already half an hour over and it's late, so I'm not going to do it. Tweet to the author. Well, just tag the author in the tweet. I don't know. Just tag the author in the tweet. Tag him in the tweet. Go for it. Tag the author in the tweet if you guys want to. Oh, there is a rumor it's currently under production. Who knows? Short vid, though. Come on, guys. Control-Alt-QQ, 86 transition. All right, fine. But then I'll be wrapping up quickly. I'm going to need the name again, Skid. Sorry. 86 transition. Let's see if I can find it. Why not? 3 minutes and 46. All right, here you go. Last video. Thank you, Skid. I am watching. Peasant, feel free to just put the author's name in the tweet. Someone reply to the tweet.
わかりました。どうしたの？
俺は
Crazy. Oh, that one was cold. That one was good. The fireworks one is the most brutal, definitely, yeah.
敵情を報告してください。
That's a good one.
シン。
さよなら。冗談でしょ。そんなバカ。
私だってば。
違えることになろうとも、こいつら全てを殺し尽くすことができる。待って。待って。
シンはさ、パーソナルマーク変えないの？
ん？ミリーゼ大佐。
続けるんだね。
And that is it. My friends, our 86 journey is over. Hello, Chrysalid, is that how I say your name? Our 86 journey is over. Salutes for 86. We are done. We have watched this anime finally. Also, Kay, once again, thank you for the $5. After it being recommended for so long, after 86 making it on every single tournament since day one, and no matter how many times it made it on a tournament, it never won. It never won. After so long, and then finally 86 won a tournament, and we finished it. We watched it. We finished 86. Done. What an absolutely incredible anime. Super impressed with it. It's masterfully done. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Amazing. Really, really, really enjoyed it. Thank you everyone for recommending it. Fucking loved it. Can it be on the next tournament to watch again? Let's do it again. Let's do